get these decorations up for the tobacco man. Right? The tobacco man should be here to bless me any day now. Oh, hello, and welcome to Tabatieres. Yes. We are a quality snuff shop. We sell many brands of snuff, and of course, we even make our own in house. Yes. Come along. So, what are you looking for today, sir? A refill of a snuff, buying snuff, maybe even trying our own blends? Like, what are you looking for? Oh, you're new to snuff. Well, I will be gladly here to tend to you and explain to you everything. Are you ready? All right. So, to get to the history of snuff, long ago before the whole colonial period, a preparation of tobacco by Native Americans was to take tobacco leaves, grind it into powder, usually with mixture of other things like certain other plants and whatnot, and especially the mixture of hardwood ashes, as alkaline substances release the nicotine in tobacco. They probably didn't know that exact science, but they knew that ashes added like a punch to it, right? And they would grind these tobacco ash, and other plant mixture together, and they would sniff it up their nose. And when Europeans came along, they were enamored by it. Not fully, though, because the concept of putting powder up your nose, especially to induce a sneeze, was actually not a new concept. There's a weed native to England called sneezeweed, and what they would do was literally dry it up, grinding the powder, and the plant naturally has like some, not histamine, no, but it's like an irritant that is like very triggering towards the body that causes you to sneeze. So the Europeans, it was a wonderful thing because unlike sneezeweed, which was just to make you sneeze if you had a cold or something, this was something for your enjoyment, nicotine. But as Europeans got their hands on it, they noticed that they also could do something else with it. Because while different different snuffs, or hape as the natives would have called it, different hapes probably smell different depending on the tribe, what they used and whatnot. But there's even documentation that because they would use rosewood petals, some tribes use rosewood petals to grind snuff. The rosewood oils from like the rosewood petals, I say petals, pestils, would literally get into the snuff and scent it. And this gave, we can assume that this gave Europeans the idea to add oils to snuff for perfumery sensations and whatnot. And because of that, you have many types of snuff. Of course, you have your plain snuffs that are just purely tobacco and just let the tobacco flavor hit. And then you have perfumed snuffs. And then you have SPs, which vary on. I mean, SP seems to mean something different for everyone of what they are. No one knows what SP means. A lot of theories, but no one actually knows for definite. But SPs, to define them, are perfumed snuffs. But because they're so popular, they are also considered basically the standard snuff scent. So sometimes SPs are also called plains. It's a little confusing. But SPs, in my opinion, are a special form of perfumed snuff, and basically one of the it's a trademark snuff scent that was very popular in the 1700s. And so, and while this is not true for every SP, there's some snuffs that I would call SPs, even though they're technically not. But a trademark of some, or the trademark of like SPs for the most part, is that they always have bergamot as a scent. I would say that SPs are any perfume snuff, especially floral in nature, that have bergamot as the forefront scent. Now, some would debate with me on that position, but that's what I would say. But there's many other types of snuff. You have florals, gourmet snuffs, Indian snuffs, Tibetan and Mongolian style snuff, South African snuffs, French snuffs, and Icelandic, which those three pull heavily from the rapé style, which is a coarser grind snuff because not all powders are equal. Some are more granular than others. Rapé is like the coarse cutting of of like a coarse setting of snuff. More coarser, tends to be wetter, easier to take. In fact, râpé is, funny enough, it comes from a French word meaning torn, and râpé sounds very similar to what the natives called snuff, which was hâpé. Find that very funny. But râpé was, what was I going to say? Râpé is very dark, usually uses fire cured tobacco, and it's, hmm, how can I describe râpé? They tend, I mean, if they're very similar to plain snuff, since râpés are a type of plain snuff, and they are quite earthy, molassesy, strong in ammonia, quite pleasant. I personally like them, and the French were the ones to popularize this. And then what are some other styles of snuff? Indian snuffs. Indian snuffs, I personally only liked a few, but it's a style many enjoy. And of course, there's probably many artisan snuffs that are out there as well. But enough about rambling to you about nasal snuff. Let me do some honors and allow me to just give you perspective because you do not know nasal snuff. I do. I think I'll start you off with a medium grind. Oh, yes, that's what I was going to say. Tobacco snuff comes in different grinds. Some are fine as talcum powder, and others are coarse, more akin to like wet sand. That's what I was trying to think of. But yes, I would like to try you off with a snuff. Have this container here. It's actually my personal container. And I will let you try some of my own snuff. Now, this is not one I made. This is an SP. This is J&H Wilson's SP #1. Classic snuff. I love it. You don't even know how to take snuff? Okay, okay. Many methods, but since you are a beginner, hold your hands in an OK sign. Separate your thumb and index finger a bit. Put your hand in the container and pinch a very small amount. If you have to just dip your fingers in, your index and thumb in, and then just pull out, do that. But take a very small amount. Right? You got it? Hold it there for a moment. Let your warm hands warm up the oils and whatnot. 3 seconds is sufficient. Then bring it close to your nostrils and just smell it like flowers, like very slight smells. Like when you're catching a smell in the air. You don't just inhale deeply, no, you give a couple of small quick sniffs. Yeah. Oh, and I have you a handkerchief. Oh, oh. You sneezed. I'll get that for you. All right, that can be your handkerchief. So, I hope you quite enjoyed that. Yeah, very zesty, like Earl Grey tea. Yes, yes, yes. That's exactly how it's like. Earl Grey tea because it's also flavored with bergamot. Earthiness because this isn't an overly perfumed snuff. That's kind of a thing with SPs. They tend to let the tobacco base shine through as well, the tobacco flavor. Yeah, you're enjoying it? I thought so. Would you like some of this to be your first snuff? All right, I'll have you set for 20 grams of SP number one. Great to hear. And would you like anything else like it? Because I can make you a custom order. And if you like SP number one, I think I know exactly some snuffs you'll like and a few extra that I think you should try. With no extra cost to you, think of this as a gift. Not too many take snuff anymore. So I think you should just allow me to do this. A gift from an old snuff blender. Ah, thank you. Thank you. All right, let me get a piece of paper. Right. SP number one. I think you will. What's some snuffs I think you would like? Ooh. Strasbourg. Another Wilson's of Sharrow snuff. I do believe you should try plain. Hmm. And because you're a beginner, I do recommend trying a râpé. So I'll also give you Brunswick râpé. Another Wilson's of Sharrow. I find the Wilson's of Sharrow snuffs very compatible for beginners. And well, I am not against menthol. I don't believe menthol should be something that you start with. It's, menthol, like menthol cigarettes, they makes the smoke cool. Well, some snuffs include menthol and it makes it all cool up in your nose. So, yeah, I won't give you any of those. I think you strike me as someone who likes aroma, and you quite liked SP number one. I thought so. So I think I'll give you more. I think you'll lean more towards perfumed snuffs. But if you want a recommendation, I recommend Hedges. Just Hedges. V Snuff by Hedges. They make a pretty decent menthol. It's a little much for me, but I get why people like it. And I recommend that as your first menthol. Or a Crystal's Original and Genuine. That's another good one. All right, all right. So, some more snuffs. I think I'll give you two more snuffs. I think that's fair. Yeah, two more snuffs. You have plain Brunswick Râpé. Hmm. What would be a good one for you? Because I think you have a degree of class, I'll recommend Sir Walter Scott's Rosalind. I'll get that for you. Oh, Sir Walter Scott's. We don't know too much about him, but he's some snuff blender on the Scottish English borderlands, and he is a artisan snuff maker makes all his snuffs himself, and Rosalind is actually a recreation of a favorited snuff by Queen Charlotte, who was also called Snuffy Charlotte. Yeah, Queen Charlotte loved nasal snuff. I mean, loved the stuff. And her favorite one was one that used bitter almonds, Persian rose oil, and ambergris. You don't know what ambergris is? Sperm whale poop. I know that sounds wild, but it's a common, well, we don't use the real stuff anymore. I believe Sir Walter Scott actually still does use the real stuff in Rosalind, but it's ambergris is prized for its very, to me, it's kind of earthy with caramel notes. It smells different. I mean, smell is subjective after all, but it's a very animalic smell with a slight sweetness. Some even report floralness from it. Like I said, because smell is subjective, but it's it's not really a main scent. It's more of a it brings two scents together. And even though it's poop, it's not fresh or anything. It's poop that has been aged in salt and marine water, and it can't. And unlike other products in the snuff making world, stuff like ambergris and civet, even though we some snuffs used the fake version of those back when snuff making was popular, you had a those snuffs were highly prized because unlike tobacco and roses and any other plant you can think of, you can always grow more of it. You can't grow civet or ambergris. You can't grow musk back when they were still using musk deer gland. And and I think Sir Walter Scott still uses real ambergris because I mean his Rosling is always hard to get. It's always hard to get, and once it's gone for a moment. But I'm rambling. Can you tell that Rosling is one of my favorite snuffs? Yeah, Strasbourg is too. I quite like Strasbourg. But another snuff, last snuff for you. I will recommend you Spanish Gem by Tokes because it is an homage recipe to an old snuff blender in Spain, and it's one of the last remnants of the Spanish snuff tradition. Yeah, it just has a nice little bit of history on it. Yeah, I think you'll like it. To me, it's like the smell of paper bags and vanilla pudding. How those two smells work together, I don't know, but it smells quite well. So I'll get those snuffs for you. Just give me a moment. Ah, got all your snuffs for you. Uh, yeah, I hope you enjoy them. And I also put a snuff box in there for you, something to hold the snuff you want. I recommend no more than a gram at a time because you don't want to fill up a snuff box and then you want to switch snuffs and then you have to put it all back in the tin and whatnot. So I just did it all for you. It's all good. And I hope you enjoy the snuffs on me. Oh, one of my custom snuffs? I only dabble in stuff making. I'm a snuff maker, but I don't do it too much. I recently made a rapé from Graba and Fronto, but strong hitting. I'm thinking about adding some menthol to it to help with you know, prevent it from feeling too groggy in the nose. I'm not the biggest fan of menthol, but it has its uses in snuff. Hmm. Right. Well, I'll see you around then. Bye.